Hey, good morning. Welcome back to YouTube and welcome to the longer version in the state of Florida, but under the tax deed auctions, okay? Tax deed auctions, okay? So let's get into it, all right? So, we know Florida has tax lien auctions usually in the month of May, but they have tax deed auctions every single month, okay? And how they work it there in the state of Florida, okay, is kind of unique a little bit, all right? So if you're a lien holder on the property, you're a certificate holder of a property, you won the auction, and your time has come up and you decided that you wanted to start the foreclosure on the property, okay? Well, Florida will handle basically all the paperwork for you, okay? You have to send in the money, the proper documentation and everything. And what the state of Florida will do, okay, is the county will have a public auction. We'll have a public auction for your tax lien certificate. So remember that you are getting a interest rate. Whatever the interest rate was of what you originally bidded, you are going to be getting that interest rate. And there's a kind of a couple little twists and everything. But anyway, so what happens there is you will send in your paperwork and your proper fee to the county. And the county will basically look it over. Everything's okay. They'll stamp it and they would say, okay, great. We're ready. Give us a couple months, and then we will basically put your property on the tax deed auction, all right? So what happens there is that your property, depending on the county, will either go on a internet auction platform, okay, or a online, you could say, or a in-person type of auction, okay? And so you're just a lien holder right now. Now, you can bid at the auction. Remember that you can bid at the auction. There's no problem with that, okay? But you will be bidding against other people. So you have to put that into your head, okay? That you're going to be bidding against other people at the auction, okay? So what happens there? The auctions are very simple. Is whoever basically bids the highest amount at the auction wins. Okay, so again, it's a deed auction, you could say, and it's a bit of premium. So whoever pays the highest amount will win. Now, if you're going to be bidding online or on the internet, realauction.com is one of the national platforms that handles a lot of the Florida counties tax sales, okay? They do the lien sales and they do the deed sales also, okay? And you're going to have to register over there too. You're going to have to set up an account. You're going to have to create a username and a password for realauction.com. They're going to have you sign certain documents and everything. Provide your social security number and everything, okay? And so you can bid. Now, you're probably going to have to submit a refundable deposit too. So you're going to have to probably connect with a deposit that you're going to have to do, all right? So what happens there is you will send in all your paperwork, you will send in your deposit, and then the county will allow you to be approved to bid at the auction. And it's a very simple auction, okay? You wait for the date, you've done your research, you've done your homework, because remember, you're the lien holder of the property, so you should know already about the property. And before you petition for the deed, you certainly have driven by and looked at the property to make sure the property's still there, right? Okay, so that's important there. So what happens there is that you will basically drive over there and look at the property, make sure everything's okay. And this is before you petition for the deed, okay? You want to do that also for the lien if you could, all right? But remember, in Florida, it has 2 years. You can wait 2 years before you have to petition for the deed, okay? And they give you some more longer time. So anyways, let's talk some more about how it's working. The auction happens, okay? So what happens there at the auction is whoever pays the highest amount will basically win the deed, okay? Now, you want to make sure you check with the local municipalities or the cities, and you want to find out to see, are there any code violations on it? You know, any weed abatements, grass cutting, water, especially water and sewer liens or anything that the city or the county has placed on it, because they may stick on your property when you're going to sell the property. Now, when the auction happens, they will set it up what the minimum bid, opening bid will be at the auction, what the minimum opening bid will be at the auction. And they'll set the increments, okay? So they might say, okay, well, you have to bid at least $100, okay, per bid, all right? And then you'll bid, and they'll have a time limit, okay? And you got to check with the auction site, because sometimes they'll continue the auction if there's more people bidding the last minute or two, or they may just end it. So that's something you've got to check with the county and the auction website of which way you want to bid there, okay? All right, so what happens there, you're bidding at the auction, and whoever pays the highest amount will win the deed, okay? Now you got to check with a attorney over there, because if it is occupied, what are the procedures that you have to do in order for eviction on the property or foreclosure on the property to, you know, have the person move from the property, okay? So every state is different, very, very different, which is kind of baffling, you know what I mean? It's really kind of baffling how every state could be so much different on their rules and regulations and everything, you know? So that's something you have to do. And that's the state of Florida. So remember, is some of them are going to be on the internet. You'll go to probably realauction.com, okay? Some of them will be in person. Now, remember, in person, what are you going to have to do? You're going to have to bring your driver's license there. You're going to have to give them your social security number. You're going to have to sign some documents. They'll probably give you a bidder number. They may ask you for a registration fee too. So you got to check with the county. You got to check with the county and find out what the rules are for that auction, for that particular county, for those properties. Okay. Well, welcome to YouTube. Okay. I hope I gave you some good information here in the state of Florida for tax deed auctions. Okay. And if I did, hey, give us some likes, and share the video with your friends and everything. Consider subscribing to our channel. And remember also, we're on TikTok, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. We want to give you some great education, because what happens, it educates you, and what also does, it educates me too. And that's what I had to do to myself. All right, guys, hope you like it. And remember, what's our motto once again? You are one step away from your dreams coming true in the tax sale. So until next time, we'll see you then.